alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is the contradiction of the first statement. It is a complementary of H naught. That is, you have to write. So we will denote it as H1, and here we have three possibilities according to the depending upon the situation. I mean, according to the question. Okay, you have to consider that. Sometimes you will get a greater than, sometimes you will get a not equals to, sometimes you will get a less than also. Mu not equals to mu naught. You will get three possibilities for that in the alternative hypothesis. If it is not equals to, then that is two tail. If it is greater than or less than, that is one tail. Okay, you have to, there is no problem if you consider greater than or less than, the same values for z will be taken as the same value, but for not equals to, it is two tail, the z value will be different. Okay, so you have to take carefully about the alternative hypothesis. So next, what is the statement, what is the step 3? So that is level of significance, LOS, alpha. If the question, if they mentioned, you have to write what they given. If they didn't mention, take usual as 5% or 1%. Generally, we will take only 5% because the table values that they didn't give, you have to by heart the values of that. Okay, next, step 4. What is the step 4? You have to calculate z value. Test statistic z equals to x minus mu, x bar minus mu by sigma by root n. Kondagalla Krishna left. Okay, x bar minus mu by, I will take only 40 minutes, so listen, okay. I'm not taking today 1 hour class, I'm taking only 40 minutes class, so please listen. So x bar minus mu by sigma by root n. So what is x bar ma? This is simple mean, sample mean, this is population mean, and sigma, sometimes we will consider it as s by root n. We will consider sigma values as s, because for large sample we can't find the sigma, that's why we will go for s by root n. So what is large sample? N greater than or equals to 30. If we have, we will go for this only. N less than or equals to 30, we will have another topic that will explain in another class. So n less than or equals to 30, n, that is small sample. That is large sample. For large sample, you have to go for z test. So you will get some value of here. So calculated z, and here according to the level of significance, you will get tabulated z value. So come last step in the step 5, you have to compare calculated z with tabulate value of z. If it is less than, then accept h naught. If it is greater than, reject h naught. Okay, so you have to know this procedure. Throughout the chapter, we will go for these steps only, and you have to write the 5 steps. For each step you have marks in the exam, so write all the steps. So reject h naught means accept h1. That is the these are the procedures for the testing of hypothesis. Okay, so first of all, and what is sample and population? I already explained that the collection of objects is called population, and what we select from the population is called sample. And the size of the population we will denote capital N. Size of the sample we will denote it as small n. And mean, this is size. What is mean ma? We will denote it as mu. Here we will denote it as x bar. And variance. So variance we will denote it as sigma square. Here we will denote s square. And standard deviation sigma s. Okay, so we have proportion also. I already explained what is mean by proportion. So the number of success by, I mean number of anything defective or number of success by the total objects, we call it as proportion. This much out of that much. Remember one thing, proportion is nothing but you will get a percentage of something. Okay, so in the form of by only you will get proportion. So we will denote it as for population capital P, and for sample we will denote small p. And for proportion, standard error is PQ by N. Under root PQ by N. This is the standard error. For X bar, already we taken that sigma by root N. So this is a sample mean, standard error. This is proportion error. Standard error. K. Krishna. So these are the concepts you have to remember. So today we will solve the problems of proportion. Okay. So am I audible and is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we have experience had shown that 20% of the manufacturing product is of top quality. So there is something investigation. So that shown that 20% is the product is of top quality. His claim is 20% is top quality. In one day's production of 400 articles, only 50 are of top quality. Test the hypothesis at 0.05 level of significance. So here what is the question means, for testing this, they are taken 400 article samples. To test this, they taken the sample of how many articles? 400 articles. He tested that. He get only 50 out of 400 are of top quality. So here the question is, you have to test the hypothesis. Is it right or wrong? You have to tell that. That is testing of hypothesis. Okay. So in the previous classes, in the testing of hypothesis, we discussed only for mean. Yes, mean for single population and mean for double mean also. In the yesterday class, we discussed double mean for population. Here we don't have any mean. Okay, here there is no mean. There is no average term also. So in the question we don't have any mean. So what you have to do? First of all, read the question thoroughly. You can understand about this question. 20% of manufactured product is of top quality. So what is mean by that? 20% means out of 100 it is 20%. Right? So what I have told you that proportion is nothing but this much out of that much. So the number of selection by the number of total terms. So 20 out of 100. So this is capital P. Because here what is small p? So only 50 are of top quality. 50 by 400 is small p. Remember that. Okay, proportion is nothing but you have to take the selection of objects, the number of defective or number of something by the total which you are testing. So out of 400 I am taking to test the hypothesis I am taking 400 articles. On that 50 are top quality. So 50 by 400 is the small p. And 20% are of top quality in the population. This is for sample. So for sample small p, for population capital P. Okay. So this will be 0.2. This will be 0. Actually 5.8. Okay. So 0.125. 125 thousand. So 0.125. So now you have to calculate Q also. Why? Because for the step 1, first of all I will go for steps. Okay. What is sample ma? 400 articles. So size is 400. So sample size N we will denote. How much you will take here? 400. So N equals to 400. So next you have to go for steps testing of hypothesis, that is null. Null hypothesis, we will denote it as H naught mu equals to, here the question is about 20%, so I am taking 0.2. So here the main question you have to write H1. Sorry, it is proportion, right? So you have to take proportion. Now the question is how you will take alternative hypothesis. That is the question. First of all, here experience had shown 20% manufactured product is of top quality. That meaning if less than 20% only, you will not accept that quality. If it is greater than 20%, you will accept that. Manufactured product, that means something product that is manufacturing. There is a product, okay. So if it is 20% of manufactured product is of top quality. If it is 20% top quality, you will accept. Above 20% also you will accept, but below 20% you won't accept, right? So that is the question you have to consider. Below 20% I am not accepting. There is no mentioning of less than or greater than. Why I am taking less than? So because here you have to understand first question. ఓకే, యాక్చువల్లీ ఇక్కడ ప్రోడక్ట్ అనేది మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్, ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ ని మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చర్ చేస్తున్నారు. అది వాళ్ళ క్లెయిమ్ ఏంటి అంటే 20% అనేది టాప్ క్వాలిటీ అని చెప్తున్నారు. అయితే 20% కన్నా నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు ఏదన్నా కొనాలంటే 20% కన్నా ఎక్కువ టాప్ క్వాలిటీ ఉన్నా నువ్వు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తావు. బట్ లెస్ దెన్ 20%, వాళ్ళు చెప్పింది 20%, కానీ తక్కువ ఉంటే మీరు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయరు కదా. సో ఐమ్ టేకింగ్ లెస్ దెన్ 0.2. ఓకే, now tell me if you got less than symbol, one tailed or two tailed? Can anyone tell me it is one tailed or two tailed? Hello, Sripriya?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it one tailed or two tailed? Yes, don't confuse. Here it is, if it is less than symbol, I have already explained that less than or greater than one tailed. Not equals to means two tailed. Okay, so it is one tailed. One tailed. Not equals to means greater two tailed. Okay, so this is step 2. What is step 3? Level of significance. Okay, is there any level of significance they mentioned in the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, just give me reply about my question. Is there any level of significance in the question, or we should take
0.05.
yes, alpha equals to 0.05. That is nothing but 5%. Okay. Okay, so what is tabulated Z value? Now you have to tell me what is the tabulated value of Z. Okay, I have posted in group also, but I have written that for you. Okay, this is one tail, right? That may be right tail or left tail. Okay, for minus also we will consider plus only because for areas. Okay, for 5%, this is 5%. And what is these are one tailed. Right and left tail means one tail. Okay, tell me what is the value, ma? These are you wish according to the question. Less than means you will go for right tail. Sorry, left tail. The symbol, according to symbol you will take, but don't take minus. So what is Z value? 1.65. Okay. So I think you all know this. So one tailed means for 5% you have to go for 1.65. For two tailed 5% means 1.96. According to the question, here we have 5%. That's why I'm going for this one. And it is one tailed. Okay. What is step 4? So here we have the formula test statistic, that is modulus P minus capital P by same under root PQ by N. Why I am taking means, in the previous one we have x bar minus mu sigma by root n. Because we are in under we have mean, that's why I am going for this formula. Here we have proportions. So same Nana, this is sample mean, right? So this is sample proportion and mu population mean. So this is population proportion. In the place of means I have written here proportions P. And what is under root of P cube n? The standard error of proportion is this. And sigma by root n is the standard error of x bar. So this is the formula you have to learn here. So what is the small p, what is capital P, and what is capital Q? We know that P plus Q equals to 1. So Q equals to 1 minus P, that is 1 minus 0.2, that is 0.8. So here you got the Q value also. What is N? 400. So you have all values of this one, substitute the values. Modulus of P minus 0.125 minus capital P is nothing but 0.2 by under root of, this is capital P, okay? Okay, so 0.2 and what is Q ma? 0.8 by 400. So if you solve this, and here you can use calci, so use your calci, you will get that this will be 0.075 and 2 8 the 16, 0.16 by 400, so it will be 3.75. So you will get Z equals to 3.75. Okay. So now what is the step 5? So this is calculated Z. This is stable Z. So compare these two. First of all write calculated Z and table Z. So what is calculated Z? We got 3.75. So what is table Z? 1.65. Now tell me, it is greater than or less than? 3.75 greater than 1.65 or less than 1.65? 8th class student also answer this. Please give me the answer.
Greater than 1.6.
Greater than means accept H. Accept H naught or reject H naught. Before going to explanation of this, I have already explained.
Reject.
Right. So reject H naught. I am rejecting H naught means I am accepting H1. So accepting H1. H1, sorry. I am accepting H1. So reject H naught means you are rejecting this one. So you are accepting the alternative one. That is P less than 0. That meaning there is no 20% of manufacturer. There is a less than 20% of top quality. So that is the answer. Okay. Is there any doubts?
No, ma'am.
సో మీ నుంచి నేను ఆన్సర్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తే ఒక్కసారి కూడా ఆన్సర్ చెప్పరు. ఓకే. సో నెక్స్ట్, when the population parameters, actually this single proportion we have here also, single mean, single sample, single population. Same for the single mean, what we have Z equals to x bar minus sigma by root n. So for the same also we have this formula. So for double mean also we have that x1 bar minus x2 bar by sigma square by n1 sigma 1 square sigma 2 square by n2. Here we have, yesterday we solved this type of problem. Yesterday means Saturday. So for these also we have something that two proportions and two samples. Give me. So test of significance for two proportions. When the population parameters P1 and P2 are known, so you have to remember this. If in the question, if you have a capital P and a capital P2, then you have to go for this formula. Small p1 minus small p2 by under root of p1 q1 by n1 plus p2 q2 by n2. So this is the same as it is as we considered in the terms of x bar. X1 bar minus x2 bar. In the mean we will take like this. So in the proportion we will go for this, and these are the standard errors. That's why we will go for these two. We have two populations. That's why P1 Q1 and P2 Q2. Okay. So Z equals to P1 minus P2 by under root of P1 Q1 by N1 plus P2 Q2 by N2. When capital P1 values and capital P2, if they given, you have to go for this formula. Otherwise, you have to go for when the population proportion capital P1 and capital P2 are not known, but small p1 and small p2 known. That meaning if in the question there is no capital P1 and capital P2, but you know small p1, small sample proportions, then what is the formula? Small p1 minus p2 by under root of pq 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Here we don't know. P1 means first sample proportion. P2 means second sample proportion. What is P? So to obtain this, we have the formula. N1 P1 plus N2 P2 by N1 plus N2. Okay. So what is Q ma'am? P plus Q equals to 1, Q equals to 1 minus P. N1 and N2 are the sample sizes. Okay. So these are the two formulas for double proportion. Now in something we have in some questions we have difference also. They will ask for that, replace that by difference. That's it. Same formulas, but in the P1 and P2, if you know capital P1 and capital P2, P1 minus P2 minus P1 minus P2. Same. So we have replaced it by differences, because in the question they will give difference. P2 for P1 minus P2 by same under root of P1 Q1 by N1 plus P2 Q2 by N2. So if you don't know capital P1 and capital, for that also you have the formula. If they give the difference of them and find the difference, means small p1 minus p2 minus capital P1 minus P2. Here if you have PQ, small PQ, this is the formula for finding P. So you have to know this formula. Okay? Okay, shall I go for the problem?
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. మేడం మళ్ళీసారి ఇది ఒకటి చెప్పరా?
So actually the test of significance here, we found already test of significance for single mean by using the formula x bar minus mu by sigma by root n. So this is the formula for single mean. Single mean means there is only one population, one sample.
6, 7.
And if they mentioned mean and average or terms, you will go for this. Okay. Otherwise, if you have like these questions, this much out of that, out of 450 are of top quality, or out of 440 are defective, like that. If you have like that questions, you will go for proportions formula. P minus capital P by under root of PQ by N. Okay. So this for single proportion. When we have two proportions, because for means also we have two populations, two samples. So here also we have two samples. We have two populations. For that you will go for samples also. Okay, so for sample it will be x1 bar, x2 bar, it will be p1 p1 p2. So for that you have to go for this formula, p1 minus p2 by under root of p1 q1 by n1 plus p2 q2 by n2. What is mean by this? This is the standard error of proportion. That's why we'll go for this. When we will go for this means capital P1 and P2 are if they mentioned. If they didn't mention, go for this formula. In the place of this, we will go for PQ. Same. So after actually common చేసాము అందుకే అది బయటకు వస్తుంది. So P1 Q1 here PQ. What is P means N1 P1 plus N2 P2 by N1 plus N2. Okay. So if you solve the question, you will go for understand about the formulas. First, a cigarette manufacturing company claims that its brand A line of cigarettes outsells its brand B by 8%. So what is meant by this means there is a two brands of cigarettes, brand A and brand B. Brand A is selling more by brand B by difference of 8%. A is more by B by 8%. Okay. So if it is found that 42 out of sample of 200 smokers, 42 out of 200 smokers prefer brand A. Then taken the brand A sample of 200 smokers. In that 200 smokers, 42 are preferring brand A. Okay, and 18 out of another sample of 100 smokers. They taken another 100 smokers. On that 100, 18 are preferring brand B. Test whether the 8% difference is valid claim or not. Now you have to tell according to the samples, is it 8% is more upon B, A is more or not. You have to claim that. That is the question. Okay. So 8% also, if you have a percentage symbol 8%. 8% means 8 by 100, right? So what is meant by this? Yeah, the question outsells its brand. A is more B. Something if you have 16 and it is suppose B is 15. That is 15 plus 1 is this one. So what is the difference, ma? 1. Between these, what is the difference? 1. You will go for like this, right? A minus B equals to 1. So they given that only. So capital P1 minus capital P2, they given 8%. That is 8 by 100. Okay. So what is this? 0.08. 20. So I am going for decimals 0. Now, so here, how many samples? 200 smokers, one sample, 100 smokers, another sample. So we have two samples. Okay. So first one is 200, second one is 100 smokers. Okay. Next, what is small p1? Here, why I am going for proportions? There is no mentioning of
42.
means. That's why. And out of symbol, when you got out of something, you will go for proportion. Okay. So remember that. So 42 by 200 is yes. So this is a P1. So 200, that is P1 equals to 0.21. Okay, next. For small P2, here these are smalls. These are capitals. Okay. So what is meant by small P2? 18 out of 100. Okay. So 0.18. Okay, I think you understand how I am going to take P1 and P2. Okay, so now they given the difference, ma. So I am going for, if you want to find the difference, so go for this formula. Okay, if they given only proportions or something, you will go for these two. But the given the question is what is that step 1. You write the step 1, you will understand. So what is null hypothesis? H naught. What is the claim? The difference is valid or not. So the H naught P1 minus P2 is 8%. That is 0.08. So this is the question. According to the question, you will go for the formula. Okay? So understand the first question. So what is hypothesis? Alternative hypothesis.
H not greater than
H1. You know that if the difference is valid means I am going for not valid. That is not equals to. Okay? Alternative means you have to, I am not going for less than or greater than, because there is mentioning that 8% difference is equal or not. Okay? A cigarette manufacturing company claims that its brand A 8% above he have A. That meaning it is not equals to I am claiming that for alternative. This is step 2. Okay, for step 3. Is there any alpha dimension? Is there any alpha? I mean, is there any